see, hopefully. Okay, now I just have to find how to get back to you. Okay, give me one sec. Where's the little Zoom icon? You can see me, right? Oh, there we are. Yay! I did it. I did it. I did it. And for anyone joining us live on YouTube, this is, I think, my first time doing it this way, where we are streaming live through Zoom. So I cannot read your comments unless I look down at my phone and read your comments that way. I'm hoping that this pops up because I'm not seeing it on my channel. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Yvonne, everybody, this is my dear friend and client, actually client who turned friend. And you just had the most amazing energy and stuff to say that I asked you, would you please come on my YouTube channel? Yvonne is an energy healer and a life coach, and just a kick-ass person altogether. So Yvonne, thank you so much for doing this with me. How are you?
Well, thank you, Patricia, for having me. I've actually was really honored and shocked that you asked me to come on. But you and I have become friends. I was one of your clients, and you had always told me, like, Yvonne, you have so much light to share. And so yeah, I'm honored. Thank you.
I love it. And thank you for letting me push you out of your comfort zone. Because I know this is like the first time you've really done anything like this. Hey?
Oh, yes. Yes.
But we have an important message. And I know that during your session with me, we got talking about some very, very important stuff that is happening right now. But before I get into the energies, the incoming energies that are happening right now, I want to explain to everyone who's watching me for the first time where I am, why there is angel wings on my wall. So I have a meditation studio in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I try to make this place as energetic, uplifting, and filled with the most amazing frequencies as I can. And so behind me, I actually have a portal on my wall. It is a grid of crystals. And then on top of that, the hologram that you see is filled with healing frequencies. So everything that's moving on there is actually projecting healing frequencies into the room. And then this wonderful pyramid that I'm sitting under is my meditation pyramid. And the reason why I decided to do this interview from my meditation studio instead of my office was because of the amount of incoming energy that is happening on the planet right now. I thought, why not add to it, right? So Yvonne, how have you been feeling about what's coming in? Let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about how important today is, being the 4-4. It's really intense energy today. I think it's been ramping up, especially since we started the equinox back on March 21st. The energies have really, really come into head. But once we hit into Aries season, it's really taken full force. I've really felt like intense in ever since, April 1st, really. And so today being 4-4, 4 representing like the 4 elements, earth, water, fire, and air, 4 representing the 4 archangels. I feel like we're getting a lot of help from the outside to help humanity and what we need and what we're going through right now as a collective. So I think this is really important and a huge blessing that you brought us all together as light workers, because this is really going to help, I think, everyone, just for those who haven't awakened, help them awaken, for what we need to do as far as sending so much light, so much positivity, and more than anything, so much love and compassion and empathy for everyone and what they're going through as humanity for right now. So yeah, I think today is really important. It's a huge day. We're coming also up on our full moon. That's coming up in Libra. And if you know anything about astrology, because I'm also an astrologer, Yes, yes. So just a little bit. So we are coming up on our full moon on April 6th, and it's going to be hitting in Libra. And if you know anything about Libra, Libra represents the scales and the balancing of energies, and it also represents justice. So for those who are here in the United States, you can kind of see how that's going to play out. But we'll see, right, in the next coming days, in the coming weeks. But yeah, it's definitely intense energy right now, especially with 4/4, full moon around the corner, energies ramping up for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely say I felt it as well coming to an end around the very end of March. And it's funny because that's as I predicted, because I could feel a total different switch coming in April 1st. And the interesting thing was usually it kind of comes in slowly the 3 days before and then 3 days after it wanes, right? No, I just switched like totally completely different energy from one day to the next. So in my world, honestly, it was like thank God, because over the last 3-4 days life just went, okay, the crazy has slowly settled down. And I know that even, looking into my clients and everything that they've been going through, it just feels like everything was coming to a head over these last few months. So for anyone that was feeling that crunch, it is shifting. It is. So energy doesn't know good or bad. It's defined by the user. And when one thing that I've learned, as I'm slowly learning about astrology, I've had Susan Reynolds on my channel a couple times, and she's an amazing astrologer. And for anybody who knows me, I'm psychic, but I definitely don't know anything about astrology. It's too complex for me. But yeah, it's crazy how our lives tend to, you know, totally be moved by the stars and what's happening. And even look at the moon, for heaven's sake. I remember when I was working in the Alzheimer's unit, uh, it was literally 3 days up towards the full moon and 3 days down that you could see the behaviors change. And it was like, please don't schedule me on the full moon, because you never know if you're getting a fork to the back. It was just, you could totally see the behaviors. But again, it makes sense if you think of what the moon does to an ocean, right, on a full moon. Of course, we are majority water, so we're going to feel it as well. And I just think that these energies that are coming in right now, they're very, very heavy duty, but like I said, defined by each and every one of us. So it's going to hit each and every one of us different. So if you've been doing the work, like you said, and that's why I said this is a call to light workers. We're going to feel the switch here. This is where we get ignited and activated. We are going to feel that lightness and those activations come in. However, if we have been denying our path and not living according to our soul's purpose, we're going to feel it. People are really going to feel that crunch. And what was shoved under the rug is unfortunately coming to the surface over these next few months. So yeah, that's how I see it.
Oh, 110%. And like you said, everything is perspective, right? It's the way we look at things and the duality of everything, the positive and the negative. And so it is the energy is ramping up. And a lot of us are getting triggered right now, but you got to also remember, why are you getting triggered? Triggers are there to show you, it's coming to the surface to show you where you need to heal, what you need to fix, what you need to transmute or transform within yourself, right? These triggers are there. So we should be blessing, honoring our triggers, and seeing what we need to fix, right, within ourselves. Because when we fix ourselves, we're actually fixing the collective. So a lot of people forget that. They forget that they actually need to go within, and it all starts with you, right? It's like, you being one little pebble in the sand of a beach, and it makes big difference. Yeah.
Well, I think that a lot of people don't know their power, and don't realize how important they are. And I was just actually discussing this with my son right before we came online. I said, the beauty of my job is I get to see life from a higher perspective, where I get to see how it's all connected, how the worst day of your life. Because for me, the worst day of my life was my father's death. But this is where we got to bless the BS, because my whole life changed because of that happening, right? And had that not happened, this conversation wouldn't be happening. My whole world would be completely different. There's no way I would have left nursing. There's so many things that changed because of it, right? And yet, if my dad was here in his life, he didn't think he did, big, huge things in his life. And I said to my son, I said, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for that man. And so we never know the influence that we have on another person. So we cannot underestimate the ripple effect that we leave behind, because we do. Oh, and speaking of that, that's the other thing that keeps coming up is ancestral healing. That's a big one at this time, because here's the thing. If we want to activate our light and our DNA as light workers, we also have to clean the darkness from it. And what does ancestral healing look like? Well, in plain 3D terms, it's simply not repeating the sins of the father. Whether it is we come from a lineage of drinking or drugs or spousal abuse, child abuse, neglect, not enough love. We see patterns, just like there's gifts, right? And musical talents and brilliances that are passed down in lineage. You see families of doctors or dentists. That's how those gifts and then those sins get passed down. And so I know that the people that are feeling ignited right now, I bet you anything, a lot of them were the black sheep in the family, the ones that didn't resonate with everybody else. Well, if that's you, there's a reason why you're the black sheep, because you're not the black sheep. You're the light worker in the family that's come in human form to clean up that DNA, right? It's the resonance that we keep that affects our DNA. The choices that we make affect our DNA. The trauma that we hold on to does. So if we want to activate those dormant gifts and abilities, we also have to heal the pain of the past and send it literally up the genetic line and change timelines. Because when we stop passing that stuff down, it's our children's 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 children that benefit. We literally change timelines for the future, because they will not experience what you decided you're done with, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 110%. When you were talking about the DNA, it actually, that pain, that trauma does stop with you if you decide to be the heroine in this lifetime, to stop it and then transmute all that energy from your past and then start new, start afresh. You're 110% right. Yes.
So I know that you were talking about the light workers work that we need to be doing right now on the grids. Do you want to explain that a little bit? Because that pertains to all of it. When we activate ourselves, we're doing something else, right? So I'd love for you to explain the download you got.
Well, the downloads for the last couple of days for sure, and then coming up to a culmination today on 4/4, and then we're going to come up to the full moon. So everything's ramping up right now. But as a collective, and for us light workers who have been doing the work, have been doing our shadow work, have been going through this for a couple years now, it's all coming to a head, right? We need to bring in that positivity. We need to bring in that light, and the grid system right now that is surrounding the entire planet. Us as light workers, we need to work every day on ourselves, work on making sure that we meditate, that we're eating healthy, do your affirmations. Like for me, I get up in the morning and I do my grateful affirmations, what I'm grateful for the minute I open up my eyes, and I start off my day fresh, just like that. I mean, that's what we should all be doing as a humanity, right? Whether you're in a not so good situation or in a better situation, we should all be grateful that we're here, that we're alive. So right now it's really important that us light workers, we bring in that light, that we work together, and like what you and I are doing right now, working and bringing in we're going to be doing a meditation right after this, right? And just kind of blasting the planet as a light worker. Just all you have to do is shine your light. Shine your light. And if we can get as many people, light workers, to do it all at once, we're blasting the planet and the grid with so much positivity that we can shift the timelines. Can't say where they're going to go because there's multiple timelines, but I mean, it never will hurt. It's only going to be for the good. So for my message is what you need to do every day. Eat healthy, meditate, wake up, do your daily affirmations. And, also what I tend to do sometimes is I just do a deed. Just if you think of doing one deed a day, one good deed a day, and no one has to know you're doing a good deed, whether if you're in the line to Starbucks and you buy the coffee of the car behind you, or, something that will brighten up someone else's day, right? I mean, that if humanity did that once a day, can you imagine how much we would transform the world? It would just be incredible. So right now, I think it's really important for us to get together as much as we can as light workers, as a humanity, to do these meditations and just blast the grid system. In the last couple of days, I also have seen that the angels have surrounded the world in a crystalline grid.
Yes.
Yes, the crystalline grid. It's almost like in a blue-white color, and it just surrounds the planet. And a lot of changes are coming. A lot of good changes are coming. So I think if we can just all plug in. And for those who are beginning their ascension path, as us being light workers, we're the teachers. We're here to help them too. So if you have a friend that is just starting to ascend, help them through it, guide them through this. You went through it. I know I've gone through my dark night of the soul, and many of us light workers have. It's just kind of the beginning that you have to go and start it off. So that's kind of like my message right now is just give that love, give that empathy, do one good deed a day, meditate every day, be grateful. And we as a collective, if we all just do that every day, we'll be able to transform anything and any timeline.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And one thing that I notice is that the energy on Earth feels like it's accelerating. And so you might notice it in time speeding up, or I guess another way to describe it is there's a bunch of us that are literally vibrating between 5D and 3D all day. And so the weirdest thing is that if you're having like the Mandela effect happening, where you're remembering things differently than what you thought happened, or things look different, it's just the energy's changing, and it will, I don't know, I think it's just easier to be able to feel it now coming in, where it's more tangible, and people are going to second guess their sanity because of it if they don't understand what it is that they're experiencing, right? And it does, it's like an ascension wave where it'll go up and down, and sometimes it'll be snotty balling on the floor and high anxiety. Like I know there's been quite a few people that have been complaining about feeling like they're living on edge, constantly vibrating with stress or anxiety. And that's when we got to step back, and instead of feeding into it, literally take a step back and go, okay, what's affecting me? What is affecting me? I had to do that because I used to suffer from really bad anxiety. And so now I look, am I in an area of high EMF? Am I taking on someone else's energy or issues? What's going through my head? I start tracking my thoughts, becoming the observer of what's going through my mind, because then you can also hear who's talking to you, because people got to remember, we're a broadcast system, constantly sending and receiving signals, right? Our body is like an antenna, constantly picking things up. So we may be picking up something that doesn't even belong to us. One of the things that Spirit's asking me to mention for grounding and being able to completely kind of come back to a centered state is to actually have a hot bath, as hot as your body can stand it, and put in a whole cup of Himalayan salt and a whole box of baking soda, and get in there and stay in the bath until the water goes down to room temperature or body temperature. And there'll be an alchemical change that takes place within the body, where it's like it completely strips off all that negativity off of you. I've done it a couple times in the last couple of weeks, and it does feel pretty amazing when you step out of there. Plus your skin is like satin like a baby. Your skin will love it. But I think that there's different things that we just need to remember to do when we're feeling that crunch, because when our minds are going like this, and when we're vibrating going like this, our mind is going to go like this, and it's hard to take a step back and to slow down and realize what we're here to do. It's so easy to get pulled into the 3D BS that's happening, and especially with what's happening in the news out there. There's a lot of diversions from the work that we are supposed to be doing. There's so much crap that's happening in the news right now. Turn it off, or it'll suck you in. It'll literally, the energy is so potent within the news and the media right now that it needs to be shut off. And then that way you can actually get back to concentrating and thinking straight.
Oh, 110%, 110%. And you know what just came to me right now as we were talking about the media and shutting your brain off pretty much, because it could be just constant, right, all day long.
Yeah.
It's the psychic attacks that have been going on, and the negative thoughts, and knowing the difference, knowing when it's coming on and what to do about it. And you've helped me with this, especially with a Defender Shield. I got the entire line of Defender Shield.
I love it.
It is a game changer.
It works, eh? What did you think of the blanket?
Oh, I love the blanket. I sleep with the blanket. I sleep with the blanket every single night. I travel quite a bit, and so I have the scarf. I have the beanie. Like, I have it all.
Oh, and I love that.
It really does make a huge, huge difference. It does feel, like you said, it feels like a cocoon that goes into your body, and everything just kind of calms and shuts down. So thank you for that. Thank you for that recommendation. But I did want to bring up this psychic attacks, because they have been ramping up, and that negative talk and that negative feedback. And it all correlates to, what are you listening to? What are you watching? And I've been listening to you for many years now, and
love it.
You know, the binaural beats, I love it. That's all I listen to now. I don't listen to all the other jargon. I put it in my home when I come home. Like you say, it's like you're coming home to a spa.
Yeah.
Yes, I've really taken all your advice that you've given. It's been amazing, and it works. It really works. But, you know, us as light workers, we got to find out what works for us.
Yes.
And we can do as light workers. So take our advice, take it or not. But you've got to find out what works for you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's getting heavy out there, and it's just going to ramp up, and it's going to get even stronger. And I think the energy is going to get more intense as we're coming along. You never know, right? Like, we hate to say the predictions of what's to come, because timelines are always changing.
Yeah.
And you always are trying to stay in the positive. But remember not to stay in that fear-based mentality, because all it's going to do is it's going to suck you right in. Remember what fear is there. It's fear comes up to show you, to activate that amygdala, right? Yeah. To activate that connection. So it's just an activator. So don't get sucked into the fear and then drown in it and then create a story around it. And then you're like, you can't figure out a way to get out of it. Right. So kind of just wanted to mention that, because I think that was a big thing as far as, don't get stuck in the fear, because there's so much of it and it's all around you. So keep yourself almost like in a protective bubble. Right.
I was just about to mention that, the shield. Yeah. That's exactly, actually, I think that's how I got through the pandemic, actually. But before I start my day, I always pray. But as I'm praying, I'm breathing in golden light, and I just imagine it saturating every single cell in my body. and I push it out into my auric field, and I just envision it as a shield, not just an auric field, but a shield that burns up anything that isn't of my highest good. Because, and if you think about it, it makes sense, because a virus comes from out here, right? It comes and it's got to enter my auric field or my shield in order to get into my body. So if it burns up in my auric shield, it ain't touching this body, right? It's not getting through. Knock on wood, I had not even a sniffle the whole time. For years, I haven't been sick. So there's something to it. We can command our bodies to heal. People need to remember that. Because just like we can think our way into a bad mood and think our body into excitement, right? We can think our way into healing, and we can command our cells. We 100% can. I think people just need to remember their power and what resides within them, right? But I think that that's what's becoming more and more aware now. More and more people are talking about it, and it's a beautiful movement, that's taking place all over the world. Like, for example, I look at Jason Shurka. Look at how far that kid has come in 3 years. Like, he is a movement onto himself, right? And that's just one person. Don't tell me one person can't change the world, and that's why people need to know how sacred and how amazing their light is, and how they can use it to change the world. Even if it's just one person that shifts because of your presence, that's one person's world that you made a difference in. And that's a big deal, because it's a ripple effect. It literally sends a ripple effect throughout their family lineage and everything. Anything that they think of your energy is behind, you will actually get rewards for that when it comes your time to have your life review. So it's a ripple effect.
Amazing. Yeah, you said it perfectly. And you got to remember, we are mastered sovereign beings. Like Patricia said, remember who you are. We are all light. We come from source. We are all connected. We are all one. We're all brothers and sisters. And if we can remember that, remember who you are, and remember why you came here. Remember your mission. Just feel your light. Maybe you can't see it yet with your third eye, just feel it. You are light. We are all light beings, and we all have to help each other out, especially those who don't know or are not as awakened as we are. We're all light. We're all connected. We are a fractal of source, as I like to say. So yes, 110%.
I think one of my biggest epiphanies since getting into all of this stuff is the fact that, we are actually here on a mission. Okay. And people, I didn't know that. I didn't know that for the longest time. And until I started being able to perceive things on that higher level. But you got to go in, like, you guys, I'm not special being a psychic. I'm not. I've just figured out how to go in and actually listen to what my body is saying, listen to what my intuition is saying, the voice in my head and who I'm talking to. It becomes a way of life when you want to know this stuff. It really does. It's something that when you delve in, it totally changes the way you look at things. And when you change the way you look at things, the whole world, it literally changes before your eyes. And it's like you can see through the matrix. I don't know how else to describe it, but doing this work has completely changed me. And like, I'm ready to go home at any point. Like, honest to God, I have zero fear of death. As a matter of fact, I can't wait to go. I'm good. I can't believe I said that live on YouTube, but y'all got to know, honest to God, I'm good. Never cry for me. When it's my time to go, that means my mission's done and I graduated. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm done. When that day comes, and only God knows that day, but I have no fear because I know where I'm going. I know what it looks like, right? And I just wish other people could have that glimpse. I wish people could have that
They
glimpse
can.
to the inner knowing.
They can. You just got to do the work. You just got to do the work. And, you know, I never knew the ability that I had growing up. I was so fearful of so many things that I kind of repressed my gifts and I shut them down because I was afraid of that, right? Afraid of what I was seeing, afraid of what I was feeling. So not until like 2018 did I have my awakening and I really started doing the work. And so it is possible for every single one of us, if you really want to see who you are and be this change, you can do the work. You can be me, you can be Patricia, right? Right? It's not the fact that we're so special and we have these, we're just, you know, the only ones that have this gift. No, we are all capable. We all have these gifts. You just you have to go through the work. No one is going to get it like that. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen that way. And if you were born with it, they even had to go through challenges. Let's say that you were more open when you were younger and you saw things that other people didn't see and you thought that everyone saw them, right? They still had to go through their challenges. They still had to do their work. They may be a little bit farther in the line of seeing and feeling than some of us, but we're all capable. We are all capable, Patricia. Yeah.
Well, I think the world is starting to wake up and see it. So this is, you know, we're here at a good time, because like I see every person as a book, you know, and it's almost like I'm pulling their book off the shelf of life. And, you know, I joke often going, oh my God, what book did I land in? Revelations? Because, you know, it does kind of eerily look like some things that the Bible predicted will come to pass, right? So I'm sitting back kind of watching everything go down, but doing whatever I can to, you know, awaken and help. Because honestly, what does awakening, what does that mean? You know, I remember people saying that to me, you got to do the work. What does that mean? What does that look like? It means getting off your phones, means getting off your devices, sitting by yourself. And a little piece of advice, if you really want to feel your angels or your spirit guides beside you, go for a drive. Literally, give your left brain logic something to do, such as doing the dishes, mowing the lawn, or going for a drive. Turn up the windows, turn off the radio, and just start talking to your angels like they're sitting beside you. Start talking to your deceased loved one, call in your deceased loved one. You can talk to anybody, and you will literally feel their energetic signature sitting right beside you. It will become a visceral response within your body because you'll feel that difference of energy come in, and you'll probably even hear the whole conversation unfold before you. It's doing things like that, you know. It's having faith in the signs and the synchronicities that you're seeing, and then following the signs and finding out what it means. You know, like if you're a person who keeps seeing repetitive numbers, or, you know, seeing a repetitive animal crossing your path, look it up. Go spiritual meaning of, just go on to Google, spiritual meaning of, you know, 111 or seeing the fox. Just do the work. Look it up. Don't stop at, oh, that was weird.
It's so true.
A lot of people do. Oh, that's a coincidence.
Yeah, no, the angels are always talking to you. It's just, are you listening? And it 100%. Might come in a certain song when you're driving down the street and that song is like, you have a question in your head and then the song comes on. You're like, how did that happen? Right. Exactly. I mean, you really think it's coincidence? It's your angels are always communicating with you, whether it's on your day-to-day life, like you said, in numbers and repetitions of numbers, 111, 222, 333. You look at a clock and all of a sudden it's 333, or you look at your computer screen or your cell phone and it's like, you know, 555. They're trying to tell you something. And these words and these numbers, because they communicate a lot with your outside, right? What's going on around you. So yeah, pay attention, like keep your antennas up because they are trying to say something to you. And if it's not in this while you're awake, pay attention to your dreams.
Yes, good
Your
point. Oh, really good point. Because my dreams have been so flippin' vivid lately. And so I have this thing where I noticed that I developed it when I was first teaching my quantum psychic remote viewing the Matrix series. I would catch myself teaching in the astral, literally teaching people how to astral project. And I'd be like, look, you guys, all you have to do is think up and you float up, think down and you float down. And now I catch myself teaching in the astral all the time. And I can project myself into that realm, into that place where I teach so much easier. Like I'm telling you, there is something going on with the energies out there. Is it because they turned on CERN? I don't know. But in the last couple weeks, it feels like I'm nightly astral projecting and teaching. And so it makes me realize how many other people, because I can see other people listening to me, doing it with me, like literally like there's a class in the astral that I'm teaching, right? So I'm thinking, wow, the classrooms are even filling up in the astral.
that is
So
so
that means that humanity is waking up, because those are people, astral chat, those are actually people out of their bodies, whether they know it, realize it or not. And the funniest thing is that I've actually had a few of my students contact me and say, I saw you in the astral, you were teaching me how to fly. And it blows me away because I remember it. And for anyone who astral travels or attempts to astral travel, they'll know it's very difficult. And it's also very difficult to remember what you
oh,
saw when you're in that realm, because it feels like a dream, right? So I just noticed that, yeah, my dreams are getting a lot more vivid. So I wouldn't doubt if a lot more people are waking up tired, because when you're out of your body all night, it takes copious amounts of energy and you wake up exhausted, even though your sleep app on your watch or whatever says that you may have slept for 10 hours. I bet you for 9.5 of them you were out doing something, so you may be tired.
yeah, and I love how you mentioned the astral traveling, because I think a lot of us light workers are doing a lot of the work when we are sleeping in the astral. So when you do wake up tired, it's because you've been working in the astral plane. So you're like, oh, I just woke up. I thought I slept 7 hours, 7 hours. No, well, you've actually been doing double duty. You've been working in the astral, doing the grid work, and then you come back into your physical body. But I do recommend, because when you're just waking up and you're in that delta theta phase, is where I like to do a lot of my work, because I'm still in that in between phase. So that's probably the most, when I do most of my work, is in that time frame right before I'm awake, not completely awake, is
Yeah.
when I can just zone in and I try to remember what I just dreamt and then write it down, or else it'll just whoosh, go.
Yeah, it's gone.
So yeah, in that delta theta phase is probably where I do most of my work. Whether it's a lot of grid work or light work, or something that I need to transform or transmute within myself, or someone around me, is I'll do that in that in-between stage when I'm about to wake up, or when you're about to go to sleep. That's another. And oh, you know what just came up, Patricia, is as light workers, we need to clear daily. Now, it is very important that each and every one of us clear our energy fields, our full body system, every morning and every night, because the collective's out there and there's a lot of people that aren't doing the work, and we're like magnets right now. We're attracting it all, and it's all coming in our peripheral. And then, like you said, it sits in our auric field, right? I see it like our ozone layer. And as a light worker, you can actually see it sitting in your ozone layer. And if you don't clear it, thing likes to creep in, and then all of a sudden you're high anxiety, depression, angry, sad, and you're like, where is this coming from? It's because you need to clear. You have too much from the collective. So yeah, that's another great suggestion, is that we need to clear morning and every night. And it has to be a habit, because right now the energies are very intense.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen a lot of or an increase in weird human behavior over the last few months. And so I definitely think that people are getting a lot more triggered and stuff from what's going on out there. But another one that I just wanted to mention is people's thought forms and thoughts. People, become aware of your thoughts. You need to start becoming the observer. I cannot stress this enough. The number one way a psychic attack will happen is through your thoughts. That's why, you know, when you're angry with someone, you can't get it out of your head. It's just you're ruminating for like a week about it. Well, guess what? Chances are when you're ruminating about it for a week, so is that other person. And so it's just a back and forth battle in the astral or in the energy field. And so you'll feel like crap and not be able to shake it. So I found that forgiveness obliterates that, you know, and it also prevents any more negativity from happening into the future. There's a lot of misunderstandings that are happening right now. So, you know, if you're finding that you're arguing with people, check yourself. Did you contribute to the misunderstanding? And if you did, how can you rectify that? You know, do you need to ask forgiveness for what you said or what you've done? And that's super, super important, because in the book of life that I'm reading, when I'm doing a psychic reading with you guys, it's like it takes an eraser to the event off of that page. And you don't need to experience it again when you're doing your life review in order to understand it, because the whole point of the lesson at the end of the day, it's love and forgiveness, love and forgiveness, love and forgiveness. So yeah.
Yeah, you said it right on the head. Forgiveness is key. And you and I have talked about the word forgiveness. And if there's a situation where you've tried hard and you, for some reason, you just can't forgive. And there was a situation in my life where I tried for years, and it was really hard. It was hard to forget a certain person with a certain situation. And that's when I called in my guides. That's when I called in my angels. I said, I need help. I need help. Please help me forgive. Please help me. So that's what they're also here for, you guys, your angels, your guides, whatever you want to call them. They're here to help us, but they won't interject unless we ask them to, because there's something called the law of intervention. So because we have free will as human beings. And so we need to call in for help whenever we need help. But yes, I do agree, forgiveness and love, key, all the way around.
100%. Well, why don't we do a little impromptu meditation to end the evening. I wanted to focus on doing a little bit of activation because you mentioned how important the grid system is right now. So, and we can use our bodies as conduits to bring in those higher influxes of energy. So, Yvonne, you're going to hold space for me energetically while I do this. And I am underneath my healing pyramid, getting blasted behind me by those wonderful, beautiful holophotonic wings that are happening in the background.
So just know, you guys, and I kind of want to mention this before because I've already been meditating for the last couple of days, and especially knowing that I was going to come on this call, and what my angels and my guides have granted me with is crystalline diamond within my heart, and letting me know that, you guys, we have to get connected to our heart brain, right? It's all right here. If we're going to give that love, that empathy to humanity, it all starts with our heart. So just know that a diamond is going to be shining out. And I just want everyone to imagine that there is a diamond in everyone's heart, and just blast it out. Blast it out and feel that love, feel that energy, just radiate it. Radiate it throughout your entire body. Feel it just going out through your auric field and just going throughout the entire planet. So imagine that that's going to be really, really important, and as well as the crystalline grid. So if we can all just really hone in on that, that is a big thing that's been coming in for the last couple of days.
Nice. Well, let's do it. Let's activate it and get activated. So wherever you are, just go ahead and lay back, sit back, get comfortable, and close your eyes. And let's just begin by intentionally breathing in a slower, peaceful light in through your nose and out through your mouth. And with your eyes closed, I want you to look above your head and see that beautiful diamond star of perfect crystalline energy shimmering directly above your head. See it shining from the heavens all the way down to the crown of your head. Take a nice, big, deep breath in and begin to open the crown of your head as you breathe in this beautiful, crystalline, healing star. And as you breathe, I want you to see that light shining in the center of your mind. Take a nice, deep breath all the way into your pineal gland. And as you exhale, see that brilliant light shining through every facet of that diamond, igniting your pineal gland and activating your sacred sight as it begins to shine from within through your third eye. See a beautiful stream of cleansing, shimmering light pouring into the center of your third eye, and gently breathe it down through your face. And feel every pore on your face begin to shine with an inner light as this beautiful star begins to activate you from the inside out. With every breath, it drops down further, cleansing your eyes and all you see. Take a deep breath in, and let's calibrate your sight to see only truth. Exhaling out all lies, all falsehoods. Breathing it in through your ears. I want you to see that radiant light recalibrating your hearing and all that you hear. So you know truth when it is told to you. As that gentle, pulsating light moves further, breathe it in through your words and recalibrate your speech to speak only words of love. Exhaling out all harsh tones. You speak only truth. Words of love will come to your voice with perfect divine time. So just allow that light to move down your spine, touching every vertebrae, Exhale it across into your central nervous system. And see the electrical wiring in your body come alive with light. You know who you are, and you know how you serve. Now, through the breath, drop that beautiful crystalline star, that diamond of light, straight into your heart. And feel it completely bust open all heaviness, dissolving all sadness and sorrow. Breathe it deep into your lungs and allow all grief to simply dissolve in this crystalline love. With every breath, your heart expands and aligns with the truth of who you are. You are love at your core. And you will return to love. So expand that knowing all through your core. And breathe it down as it wraps through your belly and awakens your gut instincts and your inner strength. Feel that light come alive in the core of who you are. And wrap it around your back as you feel strength and support move through your muscles, through your veins and your arteries. Let us feed that light into our bloodline and activate all dormant DNA. Ripple that light through every cell in your body. And allow it to pour down your arms into your hands. Breathe deep into every finger and both palms. And see that crystalline light activated within your healing touch. Your hands were made to be of service and to give love and support. Let us activate the healing within our hands so that all that we touch may be blessed. As that light moves down into the deepest core of who you are, breathe in and activate your soul's knowing, the deepest knowing of your soul's mission. Let us breathe that to the surface of our being so we may clearly know what we are here to do. You know who you are, and you know how you serve. And as that light begins to pour down your legs, take a big, deep breath and push that light through your exhale out the bottoms of your feet. See lightning bolts of healing love pour from the soles of your feet straight into the core of Mother Earth. Through every pore of your body, you begin to inhale light and exhale that brilliant, crystalline light as it begins to glow straight out into your auric field, creating that bubble, that iridescent, crystalline love pouring down from the heavens, from the highest angelic realms. We readily accept our mission because we know who we are. Breathe in that intention deep and see that light connecting all of us, all light workers across the world. And wherever you are, pour that light into the ley lines and the grid on the skin of Mother Earth. We are her conduits, the living expression of love in human form. This world is healed and uplifted with your presence. So we call upon the highest army, legions of guardian angels of this planet, and all of us watching now. With a heart wide open, we call upon your love and your light to flood this planet with healing, to raise the consciousness of every man, woman, and child to a timeline without war, a timeline with pure peace, love, and acceptance, and pure, healed human beings. And we gratefully receive the help that has joined us now. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. That was beautiful.
I could feel that. I feel drunk on light actually when I do these meditations.
That was powerful and beautiful. I just saw all of us surrounding Mother Earth and just blasting. And it's just going around the entire world. It was very powerful.
Well, I couldn't do it without you. And everybody watching it, we're a team. We're all a team, right? We just got to show up where we're asked to show up. And Yvonne, I thank you so much
Oh,
for getting past your comfort zone and doing this with me on YouTube and talking about this, just because, you know, what you were saying in your session with me, it was like, damn girl, the world's got to hear this and they got to know you. They got to know your name. So Yvonne Spinelli is an amazing energy healer, intuitive, and life coach. Yvonne, where can they find you? What's your website?
so YvonneSpinelli.com. And I just checked it before we got on, and there is a little glitch. So for some reason my bookings are not showing up. But there is a button where in the middle it says work with me, so you can email me. I will find out. Seems to be a glitch today, not just with me, but many of my other friends that are finding glitches in their systems. So hopefully it's going to be up and running pretty soon. Hoping it's just today. But yes, YvonneSpinelli.com will be my website. And yeah, hope to hear from you. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. We're all just doing the work, and we're all just our teachers, right? Teachers and students, right? And once you've done the work enough, you become that teacher, because you start off as a student level. But yeah, everyone, like you said, remember who you are. Remember your mission. We all have one. And what a beautiful and powerful time to be alive.
Yes.
We all chose to be here right now at this moment, at this time. It's pretty incredible, you guys. It's actually really a gift. Just think about it. It really is a gift to be alive right now. A lot of things are happening. Yes, there's chaos. Yes, there's a lot of crazy, but if that's where your focus goes, you're going to find crazy and chaos. And if you can focus on the positive things in life and change your mindset, we can see the world in a better place and become the change. Become the change.
100%.
Thank you, Patricia. I am so grateful for you to invite me on your platform. Grateful to have you as a friend. So
thank you.
Yeah.
I feel just as blessed, my dear. I really, really do. And thank you for everybody out in YouTube land that is watching this. I wish I could read your comments, but apparently I can't. I was glancing down at your phone and I can't find them. So it is what it is. It turned out perfect, exactly the way it was supposed to. But for everybody watching, I thank you. And if you want to learn more from me, I am doing my really cool 4-part series, Quantum Psychic Remote Viewing, that starts on April 10th. It's really cool. You've taken it before, didn't you?
Yes. And I will say it is incredible.
Thank
If
you.
you haven't taken her remote viewing class, I highly, highly recommend it. Patricia puts it in such a way, and she makes it so, it's so natural. You make it just, it's within you, and it's so natural. And the way you do your class, it's incredible. I love it. I love it. So yes.
Thank you, my dear. I remember you did really good with the target practice.
Yeah, so, I have to get inside of your house.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Because one of the targets was on my kitchen table.
And I saw she had put a globe on her dining room table.
Well, I guess I'm not using that target again.
Okay. But she has everything kind of sealed, packed, and you have to know what's in it.
Yeah.
And where it's at. And I didn't know it was a globe. It was a globe. You're like, what's sitting on my kitchen room table or whatever? And I literally walked through your house in the remote viewing, and I said, it's a globe.
That's right. You did. I remember that. You did excellent. So yeah. Anybody interested in remote viewing, come join me for my 4-part online series starting April 10th. And you can sign up through my website at www.patriciamonna.com. And again, Yvonne's website is just YvonneSpinelli.com. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Yvonne. Love you, soul sister.
You have a good